Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody tonight? Namaste, Witchlings. Sweet. That's what I thought. Nope, it's my. Nope, I'm sitting up. Okay. There we go. Now I'm back to almost normal. Alright. I have one. I see one. Hello, hello, hello. Namaste, Witchlings. Oh, it's you and you. Ha. Ba, 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 ba. There we go. Ha. Tighten just a smidge. All right. Hair. Go to. After we get to this, will hide me. Let me confirm. All right, then. All right, then. That works. Okay, there we go. All right. Hello, 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 everyone. Namaste, Witchlings. We are getting ready to start Friday Night Guided Meditation. Okay. So, namaste, my witchlings. Welcome, welcome to our Friday Night Guided Meditation in Yoga Nidra. I am so incredibly grateful that you are here to join me tonight. Our theme this week is reflecting on the year, and tonight we create a sacred and gentle space to honor that journey, to acknowledge our growth, and to release what no longer serves. This is a powerful practice of self-compassion and mindful integration. So find a comfortable position, lying down if possible in Shavasana or a similar restful pose. Make sure you are warm and undisturbed. Take this time just for you, letting go of any expectations or judgments. Close your eyes whenever you feel ready, allowing your body to settle deeply into stillness. And let's get started, shall we? All right, my witchlings, settle into your space. Feel the support beneath you, whether it's the floor, a mat, or your bed. Allow your body to sink heavily into that support, feeling completely held, safe, and secure. Take a deep breath in through your nose, a slow, gentle inhale, and then a soft, releasing exhale out through your mouth, letting go of any tension, any worries from your week. Again, a deep inhale, gathering peace, and a slow, complete release, surrendering to this sacred moment. One more time, deep breath in, and a full exhale, letting your body become heavy and relaxed. Now, bring your awareness to the top of your head. Feel a wave of profound peace and calm begin to wash over you like warm, gentle light. Feel it soften your scalp, relax your forehead, smooth out any lines between your brows. Let your eyes soften deeply in their sockets, your jaw unclench, allowing your tongue to rest gently in your mouth. Feel this deep relaxation flow down your neck, releasing any tightness in your shoulders. Let them drop away from your ears, heavy and soft. Feel the relaxation spread down your arms, through your elbows, forearms, wrists, all the way to your fingertips. Notice any sensations, any warmth, any coolness. Just observe with gentle curiosity. Bring your awareness to your chest. Feel the gentle, natural rhythm of your breath here. Let your heart space soften, expanding gently with each inhale. Imagine a warm, glowing light beginning to emanate from your heart center. This is the light of self-compassion. Feel the relaxation move down into your abdomen, softening your belly, releasing any tension there. Allow your internal organs to rest, feeling a sense of deep inner peace. Now, bring your attention to your hips, heavy and grounded. Feel the relaxation flow down your thighs, through your knees, down your calves, ankles, and into your feet, all the way to each of your toes. Each and every cell in your body is now deeply relaxed, held in a state of tranquil stillness. You are resting in perfect stillness now, held in a deep, nourishing relaxation. Your breath is soft and steady, your body supported, your spirit calm and open. And from this place, this warm, quiet inner sanctuary, I invite you to turn your awareness inward, gently, tenderly, as if you were lighting a lantern in the dark and holding it up to illuminate the landscape of your year. Imagine your year as a living, breathing place. Perhaps it appears as a river flowing steadily from winter to spring, widening into summer, meandering into fall. Watch how it curls and bends, how some parts shimmer with sunlight and others ripple with shadow. Notice where the waters ran smooth and where they churned with unexpected rapids. Or maybe your year arrives as a vast tapestry, threads woven in colors you chose and colors you never expected. Threads of joy, threads of grief, threads of change, threads of surprise, each one connected to the next. Nothing random, nothing wasted. Or perhaps your mind shows you a garden, blooming flowers bursting with possibility, pathways tangled with vines, patches of earth where something new began, and places where something old returned to soil. Every garden tells the truth of its seasons, and so does yours. Whatever form your year takes, river, tapestry, garden, or something entirely different, let the image settle in front of you. There is no right way for it to appear, only your way. And now, with a soft and open heart, we're going to gently wander this landscape, not to judge, not to fix, definitely not to rewrite, but to witness with kindness, curiosity, and compassion. Begin by bringing to mind a moment from the very beginning of the year. Don't force it. Just let the memory come forward the way a bird might land on an outstretched hand, quietly, naturally, in its own time. It might be a big moment that shaped everything, or a small, almost forgettable one that now glows with meaning. Maybe it was joy, maybe it was sorrow, maybe it was something neutral that now feels strangely significant. See the scene as if you're stepping right back into it. Notice the colors, the light, the temperature of the air around you. Feel the emotions that were present then, even if they were complicated. Notice the thoughts you carried, the hopes you whispered, the fears you tucked away, the questions you didn't yet know how to ask. What was the energy of that time? Breathe into it, not to relive it, but to understand it. What was emerging for you then? What seeds were being planted beneath the surface? What stories were beginning to form long before you had the words for them? What version of you existed at that moment? And what were they longing for? Let this memory show you what it needs to show you. You are not judging your past self. You are honoring them. Stay with this scene just long enough to feel its truth, and then imagine placing your hand gently on the shoulder of that earlier version of you. Offer them a breath, a moment of comfort, or a simple acknowledgement. I see you. I remember you. Thank you. Allow the memory to fade like mist lifting from the water. The year stretches out before you once again, the river still flowing, the tapestry still unfolding, the garden still alive with its changing seasons. You are safe to continue this journey, and you are doing beautifully. Now, gently, almost like turning a page in a book you've read but never truly understood until now, begin to move forward in time. Let the landscape of your year shift subtly beneath your awareness, guiding you from those early months into the warm, pulsing center of the year, the middle stretch, where so much of life tends to swirl, collide, and transform. Notice how your river changes here. Perhaps the waters deepen or quicken or split into unexpected tributaries. Maybe your tapestry grows richer, more complex, new threads appearing in vivid colors you didn't see before. Or maybe your garden bursts into midsummer bloom, or just as truthfully, becomes tangled, overgrown, demanding pruning, care, or rest. Let whatever your mind shows you be exactly what it needs to be. And now, pause in this middle section. Let yourself hover over it the way a hawk might drift on a warm current, observing everything with clarity but without judgment. What stands out for you from this period? Don't chase the memory. Allow it to come forward on its own, rising from beneath the surface like a stone you hadn't realized was waiting in the riverbed. Trust whatever arrives, even if it surprises you, even if it feels small, even if it feels tender. A challenge may appear first. Maybe it was something that stretched you thin or shook your confidence. Or, forced you to choose a path you weren't ready to choose. See it clearly. Feel again what it felt like to navigate that moment. The confusion, the courage, the heaviness, the determination. Notice how you kept going, even when you weren't entirely sure how. Or perhaps what rises up is a joy, something bright, warm, or deeply meaningful. A moment when you felt aligned with yourself, aligned with life, aligned with something bigger than both. A moment when laughter came easily, or love felt abundant, or you were surprised by your own strength. Let yourself relive the energy of that joy. Feel it move through your chest, your breath, your entire body. Know that it was real and that it still belongs to you. Maybe it wasn't a challenge or a joy at all, but a turning point. One of those subtle shifts that doesn't announce itself until months later, when you look back and think, that was it. That was where everything changed. Perhaps a conversation altered your perspective. Maybe a decision quietly redirected your path. Perhaps a moment of stillness revealed a truth you had been circling but not yet ready to hold. Whatever it was, invite the scene to unfold in front of you. Notice what you were wearing, where you were sitting or standing, what the light looked like, what sounds filled the space, how your breath moved in your chest. Memory lives in details, and your body remembers what your mind forgets. As this scene becomes clearer, begin to explore it gently. What emotions were you carrying at that time? What weight was on your heart? What hope was taking root beneath everything else? What fear were you learning to set down, even if only a little? Ask yourself with softness, what lessons were you learning then? Not the loud, dramatic lessons life sometimes throws at us, but the quiet ones. The ones that whisper, that shift us slowly, like erosion carving away a riverbed or roots quietly widening beneath the soil. Were you learning patience or boundaries? Were you learning to speak up or to listen? Were you learning that you deserved more than you had been settling for? Were you learning to trust yourself more deeply? Were you learning to rest? Were you learning to heal? Now breathe into the truth that growth was unfolding in you the entire time, even if you didn't notice it. Growth isn't always graceful. Sometimes it comes disguised as chaos. Sometimes it arrives as exhaustion. Sometimes it blooms as joy. And sometimes it reveals itself only in hindsight. but it was there. And it's still there, offering a moment of gratitude, not for what happened necessarily, but for the strength, resilience, and the wisdom you carried through it. You are not the same person who began the year, and that's a beautiful thing. When you're ready, let that middle season memory soften and dissolve, becoming part of the wider landscape once again. You are ready to continue. And now, gently, lovingly, bring your awareness to the present moment, to right now, to this breath, this body, this point in your unfolding year. Feel yourself arriving here as though you're stepping onto a familiar path after a long journey, a path shaped by every choice, every challenge, every joy, every lesson that has brought you to this very moment. Let the landscape of your year shift once more, rearranging itself into the here and now. See where your river has carried you. See what your tapestry reveals in its current pattern. See how your garden stands today, which flowers are blooming, which plants are growing, which old growth has returned to the earth, making space for something new. Let the image settle gently in your awareness and breathe. Ask yourself softly, without pressure or expectation, what is most alive for you right now? Maybe it's a feeling, something bright, something tense, something tender. Maybe it's a desire. Maybe it's exhaustion you've been ignoring. Maybe it's excitement you haven't fully admitted to yourself. Maybe it's a calling that keeps whispering your name. Whatever it is, feel it. Don't analyze it, just let it speak. Notice where it lives in your body. Notice how it shifts as you acknowledge it. Notice how simply naming it brings clarity. Now, from this place of honesty and presence, turn your awareness toward gratitude. What are you grateful for in this chapter of your life? Let gratitude rise up in images, memories, and sensations. It doesn't have to be grand. It might be something small but steady. A person who has stood by you, a moment of laughter, a quiet morning, a lesson learned the hard way, the breath in your lungs. Allow yourself to feel the warmth of gratitude expanding outward like a candle flame growing steadier with each inhale. And now, with the same gentleness, what are you releasing? Release doesn't always mean letting go instantly. Sometimes it means loosening your grip. Sometimes it means acknowledging what no longer fits, even if you're still figuring out how to set it down. Maybe you're releasing old stories about who you should be. Maybe you're releasing resentment or doubt or perfectionism. Maybe you're releasing the weight of trying to carry everything alone. Maybe you're releasing a dream that no longer aligns with who you're becoming. Let the image of release come naturally. A leaf drifting off a branch, a breath leaving your chest, a stone placed gently beside the path. There is no force here, only freedom. From here, allow your awareness to gently shift toward the future, not in anxiety, but in intention. What intentions are you setting for the path ahead? Not rigid goals, not demands, just intentions, soft guiding lights that help you align with who you are becoming. Maybe your intention is to rest more. Maybe it's to speak your truth with more courage. Maybe it's to cultivate joy. Maybe it's to choose yourself. Maybe it's to open your heart to connection. Maybe it's to build something beautiful or to trust the unknown more deeply. Let your intentions rise up like stars appearing in the dusk, one by one, steady and clear. See the scene of your present moment as vividly as you can. Feel the emotions that live here, the truth, hope, and tenderness. Remember the details, the pace of your breath, the sensations in your body, the quiet knowing beneath your thoughts. And now, ask yourself gently, what wisdom are you carrying forward? What has this year taught you? What truths have settled into your bones? What clarity has emerged from the weaving of joy and challenge, beginning and middle, past and present? It might be a simple wisdom. I can survive more than I realized. Or I deserve softness. Or I'm allowed to change. Or I no longer have to run from myself. I can trust my intuition. I am worthy of love, even when I'm messy, even when I'm learning. Let that wisdom glow inside you, warm and steady, a lantern to carry with you into the next season of your life. Feel the fullness of this moment. Feel the truth of who you are becoming. Feel the strength in your breath, the openness of your heart, the quiet certainty that you are exactly where you're meant to be in this moment. And when you're ready, just breathe. You are here and you are whole. Now, with your breath steady and your body soft, allow the entire year to move through you. Not piece by piece, not memory by memory, but as one continuous stream. Imagine it unspooling before you like an old-fashioned movie reel, each frame illuminated by the quiet glow of understanding. See the highlights, the bright golden moments that shimmer effortlessly, moments that made you smile without thinking, that filled you with hope, moments that reminded you that life can still surprise you with sweetness. Let those scenes play. Let them warm you. Let them remind you that joy existed and still exists, even alongside everything else. And now, allow the lowlights to drift through as well. Not to weigh you down, but to be witnessed. The times that ached, the disappointments you carried in silence, the nights you stayed awake wondering how things would unfold. The moments when you felt lost, overwhelmed, or unsure of yourself. See them with compassion. Offer your past self a soft, understanding breath. You survived those moments, every single one, and you emerged changed in ways you might not fully understand yet. Then, allow the in-between moments to appear. The ones that weren't high or low, the ones that felt ordinary at the time, but now feel strangely important. The quiet mornings, the routines you returned to, the conversations that didn't seem significant until later, the small choices that ended up shaping the larger story. Notice how many of these moments there were, how they form the connective tissue of your year, the spaces where you simply lived, breathed, tried, rested, waited, wandered, wondered. The spaces where life was doing its work quietly beneath the surface. And as this reel continues to flicker before you, gently acknowledge something essential. Your resilience. You kept going through uncertainty, through change, through joy and heartbreak and healing and everything in between. You adapted. You learned. You softened in some places and grew stronger in others. You found courage in moments you weren't sure you could. You made choices that protected your peace, even when those choices felt unfamiliar or uncomfortable. Let yourself feel the truth of that resilience, not as a push, not as toughness, but as the deep-rooted wisdom of someone who has lived and grown and survived. And then acknowledge your growth. Not just the growth others could see, but the growth that happened internally, quietly, privately. Maybe you learned to set boundaries. Maybe you learned to say no. Maybe you learned to say yes. Maybe you learned to rest. Maybe you found your voice. And maybe you finally listened to it. Growth doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it looks like breathing differently. Sometimes it feels like choosing differently. Sometimes it's simply letting go of an old version of yourself so you can step into a new one. Honor that growth. Honor the courage it took. And now, acknowledge your strength. Not the kind that requires armor, but the kind that allows you to stay soft. The kind that lets you feel deeply without being destroyed by the feeling. The kind that lets you rise after falling. The kind that keeps you open to life, even when life has been complicated. Let that strength settle into your awareness like a stone placed gently in your palm, solid, grounding, quietly powerful. As this movie reel plays through its final scenes, take a moment to honor your entire journey. Not just the polished parts, not just the victories, but the twists, the turns, the detours, surprises, endings, the beginnings, the moments that made you, unmade you, and remade you again. Honor the fact that you walked every step of this year with the best wisdom you had at the time. Honor the ways you tried, even when no one else could see your effort. Honor the ways you loved, the ways you endured. Honor the ways you grew. Let the reel come to a gentle, natural close. Hold the year lightly in your hands, in your breath, in your heart. You have lived a full cycle, and you have done beautifully. Rest here in this quiet space of reflection wrapped in self-compassion and gratitude. Let your breath remind you, you are whole, you are worthy, you are growing in your own perfect rhythm. Trust your path, Witchling. It's unfolding exactly as it should. Now, gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest and abdomen. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing some gentle movement back into your body. When you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes, bringing this sense of mindful integration and self-compassion with you into your waking state. Welcome back, Witchlings. I hope that practice offered you a gentle and powerful way to reflect on your year, to honor your journeys, and to set intentions for the path ahead. Remember, you are always growing, learning, and always, always worthy of your own love and compassion. And please, my Witchlings, always, always remember, you are loved, you are wanted, you are needed, and you do have a purpose here, even if you haven't figured it out yet. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Until next time, stay magical and keep reflecting. Namaste, Witchlings.